Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. You know that. And it's a beautiful day here. It snowed an inch last night, the first snow of the year. Isn't that something? And it'll probably be gone by tonight. It'll be up in the 40s. And anyway, the title of this talk is The Dairy's Rigged. Now, we have a local dairy called Richlands Dairy, and it built a creamery and had a vision. Somebody in there had a vision, and they built a creamery, and they sell milk there and ice cream. And I would go out there. It's about a mile out of town. I'd drive out there to get my milk. And but I was getting this milk with the cream on top. Do you remember that? That's the way milk used to come all the time. And I was a home delivery milkman in Cleveland. And if you paid extra for it, you'd get this Guernsey milk, which has more fat, and it would have the cream on top, you know. And then you could either use the cream or you'd shake the bottle up. Well, I'd get up because I didn't want the cream. I wanted whole milk, but I'd shake it up. And they stopped doing that, and they just have whole milk. I guess they weren't selling enough of it or something. The processing didn't work. I don't know, the machine broke down. But anyway, so now they just sell whole milk, and that's fine. It just means the dairy shakes it up before you get it. Or you can get 2% or skim milk. So the dairy changed its process. And I was writing on a comment on Facebook about the fact that, the $15, if you raise the wages, nothing's going to happen because then they'll just raise prices, or they'll just not hire anybody. Or in other words, if you got skim milk, there's no way to get whole milk. Everything you do is just going to leave you with skim milk, a wage you can't live on. Skim milk is a wage that you can't even afford rent on. The skim milk is a wage in which you see the commercials on TV, and you can't afford to live like that. All the commercials in the TV selling stuff, no matter what, soap, anything, they're all living in middle class homes. They all got cars and appliances and lots of Christmas presents, and it's an ideal world, but nobody can live there. Nobody can afford that, you see. Or if you can, fewer and fewer people can, let's put it that way. So after World War II, America created a middle class, which was whole milk. Everybody was whole milk, you see. The skim milk was lesser and lesser, and the whole milk of the middle class increased, and there was cream up here on the top. So you had cream up here, lower class down here, and a vast middle class of whole milk. But then gradually in the 80s, the dairy changed, and the milk and the cream began to rise to the top, and the middle class began to lose cream. So where did it go? Well, it went to the top, which raised the lower class. So the lower class, the skim milk, is rising up, and the cream is concentrating at the top of the bottle, and the middle class is shrinking, you see. And so no matter what you do, the problem is that the dairy process is creating this. The system is creating this. So yes, if you just change the if you just change the wage, the system will restore balance, and you'll still be getting skim. So the whole process has to be changed integratedly. We have to look at the whole dairy and not just one bottle of milk. See, or if you change the label. See, when we elected Trump, we thought, well, he said, I'm going to restore the milk. But basically, he just changed the label. So if you get a Trump label, you can restore the milk. Well, okay. How did that work out? So what we're in here, basically, is in a unsustainable dairy process, where it's just like global warming. The more we don't do anything about it, you see, it's the whole system. The more we just change labels or one bottle, the faster it grows. So as the climate heats up, the mean temperature, the average temperature raises. As the process of removing the cream from the milk increases, which it does, it gathers momentum, you see, the cream gets concentrated at the higher and closer to the top, and the skim milk rises. And what does the cream tell us? Well, the skim milk is good for you. You can't change it. No matter what you do, it's just going to be skim again. So don't change anything, you see. Skim milk is good for you. Skim milk is good. You know, it's healthy. You don't need all that fat, all that cream. So anyway, I thought this was an interesting metaphor to work with because we all can understand. I don't. You can still buy the bottle somewhere with the cream at the top, and shake it up, you know. So I think what's going on now, at least what the Elizabeth Warren and a lot of the progressives are talking about, is shaking up the bottle and redistributing the cream into the milk, the whole milk. You can't do it by yourself. The whole dairy has to do it. So that's an integrated process. It takes creative intelligence. It takes an incentive. It takes a will to do it, you see. It takes a will to change the whole system, not just a few bottles here and there or change the labels. So anyway, thanks for dropping in, and I hope this metaphor helps you understand why more and more people are having skim milk today.